Hello, it's JMO NASCAR Previews, Part 4. This time I'm getting into the Nationwide Series, but first I'd like to proudly throw in Landon Castle first. Today it was just announced that he was going to drive the number 83 car that Brian Vickers drove last year. He is going to drive, there's no sponsor yet, and it's looking like he's going to drive a Toyota. He does not have a teammate announced yet, and the car number on that will turn from 4 to 93. So, congratulations to Landon Castle for landing that ride. And then now I'm going to go into Justin Allgaier. I believe he is a legitimate championship pick for this year. I think he'll win races. So we'll see what Justin Allgaier does. I've liked him since he was with Penske. Brad Sweet will be splitting the 38 Great Clips Nationwide Chevy with Casey Kane. I'm not sure what to expect from him. I know it's safe to say that I'm sure that he will get top 10 this year for sure. But I'm not sure if I should expect anything else other than that. Cole Witt, driving for Junior Motorsports. I expect him to be a contender in his rookie season. He'll be teammates with Danica Patrick. He will be driving the 88 car that Eric Almirola recently vacated to drive for Richard Petty Motorsports. Michael Annett will be driving the number 43 car in the Nationwide Series with his sponsor Flying Pilot J. Sam Hornish Jr. now has full backing for the 2012 Nationwide Series, so he will run for the championship for Penske Racing, a serious championship threat. So I would watch the screen for Sam Hornish Jr. He has one win already at Phoenix and is definitely a threat for another Phoenix win. Austin Dillon in the number 3, leaving the Truck Series, now entering the Nationwide Series with the number 3. He'll have Advocare, American Ethanol, and Bass Pro Shops as his sponsors. And he will be a darn good racer. He will win races, and he will contend for the championship. That's just the kind of driver Austin Dillon is. And he will also make some cup starts this year as well. So looking forward to what Mr. Austin Dillon will be doing this year. Blake Koch will be in the, or Cook, or however you want to say his name. He will be in the number 41 Rick Ware Racing car. I'm not sure if it'll be a Ford or a Chevy, or a Ford and Chevy, switch off and back and forth like they did last year. Elliott Sadler will be in the number 2 car again for this time Richard Childress. Kevin Harvick Inc. no longer exists because Harvick and Delana wanted to focus on family. So now Elliott Sadler drives for Richard Childress Racing, and he will drive the 33 car in the Daytona 500 in the Cup Series. Timmy Hill will be back in the 15, teammate to Blake Koch, or Cook, however you want to say his name. I cannot remember how to pronounce his name. Morgan Shepherd will be back with his Faith Motorsports number 89 Chevy. Not sure if the 55 Faith Motorsports car will be back or not. Kenny Wallace will be back in the number 09 Toyota, and he will have Austin Dillon's sponsor in the Cup Series when he attempts to qualify for the Daytona 500 in the same number 09 Toyota for RAB Racing. So that'll be a good opportunity for Kenny Wallace. Mike Wallace will be back in the number 01 for JD Motorsports. Danny Eflin will be in the 4 for JDM, and maybe Chrissy Wallace too. They said something about putting Chrissy Wallace in that car too. Brian Scott will be back in the number 11 Joe Gibbs Racing car, but this time with Instead of Shore Lodge, it'll be Dollar General. Robert Richardson will be back in the 23, splitting it with Jamie Dick. Not really much to say there. Eric McClure will be back in the number 14 Hefty car, but instead of it being a Chevy, it'll be a Toyota. His teammate will be Taylor Malsum in the number 19 Toyota. I can't remember what the sponsor is. It looks kind of like Kyle Busch's Interstate Batteries car from last year, but it's not. Josh Wise, Eric Darnell, Chase Miller, Scott Speed. Josh Wise will be in the 40 Key Motorsports car. Eric Darnell in the 42. Rock on, Eric. Chase Miller, Scott Speed. Chase Miller in the 46, Scott Speed in the 47. All for Key Motorsports, which will be renamed to, I forgot what it was. So I have no idea what it is, what the team's called. But they will field all 4 of their cars full time, and no starting parks. So I'm glad for Eric anyway. The rest of those guys I really could care less about, but I'm glad for Eric Darnell finally getting a full-time ride, and hopefully turn some heads for a better ride in the future. Reed Sorensen, currently without a ride. Tell me why that is. Tell me why a driver who contended for the Nationwide Series Championship in 2011 got a win at a track that he is not very good at cannot find a ride for 2011. Tell me. I mean, seriously. Reed Sorensen, since getting released from Turner Motorsports, has not, well, he drove the number 82 for McDonald Motorsports, but since then has, for the last 5 races of the 2011 season, but since then has not announced anything. So, I'm a little mad about that. Reed Sorensen, I hope he finds something before the end of before the season starts. Tommy Baldwin Racing will go with Ryan Truex in the Daytona opening race. And then Ryan Blaney, Dave Blaney's son, this is still talking about Nationwide Series, by the way. Ryan Blaney's son, or Dave Blaney's son, Ryan, will be driving the 36 car in 6 races. And then Bobby Santos will drive the 36 at the July Daytona race. And then Travis Pastrana is expected to make his return at Richmond in April. So I'm excited for Travis Pastrana to come back in that. He never got to make his Nationwide Series debut because he got hurt before he could do it. But he ran some K&N races and finished 6th in the Toyota All-Star Showdown, which sadly does no longer exist. And then Johanna Long will be back in the number 70 Nationwide Series car. So, she just signed to be in that car. Johanna Long is a pretty good driver. I forget what Jennifer Jo Cobb's doing. No word if Angela or Amber Cope will be back either. So, I think that's about it for the Nationwide Series, unless something else comes up. I'm probably forgetting a few people, but if I did, they're probably not important. If they are, I know the 33 car is going to be split by Harvick, Stewart, Gahn, and somebody else. I can't remember who the other person is, but I do know that some of those people, I do know that some Sprint Cup guys and some other people will be driving that car this year. Brendan Gaughan's going to get a whole package. He's going to drive the 33 car in the Nationwide Series. He's for a few races with his family sponsor on board. He's going to drive for 4 races in the Cup Series in the number 33 car with his family sponsorship on board, and then he's going to drive for a few races in the truck series in the number 2 car, in the number 2 truck, with his sponsorship on board. So Brandon Gaughan's got a pretty good deal with RCR right now. Hopefully it turns into a long-term deal. I'd like to see Brandon do good. But that's all I have for today. Thanks for listening to my blog about the previews, and hopefully, I'll get into the truck series in part 5. So appreciate you listening, and God bless.